Oops. Welcome back to Fried Chicken Chronicles or Fried Catfish Chronicles. Once again, welcome back to Fried Chicken Chronicles or Fried Catfish Chronicles. Hit the like and subscribe button and share with your family and friends. Making this Creole dish inspired by my grandfather. His name was Nolan Jones Sr. And he was a houmaindian. His mother was of the United Homa Nation, but it was called houmaindians during her time when she was born in 1879. Ada Verrett Jones, and she was a houmaindian, and she was French and Homa Indian. And then my grandfather, his father was black. His name was Peter Jones. And Ada Verrett Jones was born, I believe, I got to look back on the records. I can't remember. 18 something, late 1800s, but I can't remember exactly the date. And then she lived and she grew up in Houma, Louisiana. Then she moved to New Orleans with her children. But any event, what happened was my grandfather, his father was Peter Jones, and he was a barrel maker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll do another. He was a barrel maker, and he got injured, probably occupational injury, to the point it was fatal. And so he called my, it could have been some white boys doing it to him. I don't know. But my grandfather had older siblings. They were adults. And they were living in New Orleans. But he called my grandfather, Nolan Jones. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 eggs. I think that would be enough. Called my grandfather on his deathbed and commissioned him to take care of his mother and his sisters. My grandfather was only 12 years of age, but he took it seriously. His father had commissioned him to take care of his wife, Ada Verrett Jones, a houmaindian, and French. And the French have it all chronicled because they keep records of the houmaindians, and they were fascinated with what happened with them, with their citizens that left France and came to America and intermarried into the houmaindian tribes. And so they have very astute records that they've kept. And then the Catholic Church was also very effective in record keeping. So I'm just beating these eggs. So what happened is his father commissioned him on the deathbed to take care of his wife and his daughters. And my father, our grandfather, he's my father too. Grandfather has the word father in it, but he raised me. So he was my father and my grandfather. The only father I knew. So give him his credence. So what happened is he did, and he stopped attending the Indian school, and he took care of his mother and his younger siblings, even though he was only 12. And there were grown men in the family. There was a huge age spread. So there were some men in their mid-20s, late 20s. He was in the latter years, and he was the baby, and he took care of his baby boy, born 1913, February 27th, 1913, February 27, 1913, and he did, and so he had to quit, or he had to discontinue attending the Indian school he was attending because they had segregated schools for the Indians. The school is still in existence. Well, they have portraits of it, and there's a museum. It's not in existence, but there's a museum in the Homa Nation, the United Homa Nation. They have a museum of that Indian school, and they have pictures. So he stopped attending school. He discontinued attending school. So he had to enter the workforce. And it was a cruel workforce. Cruel. And you got to understand, this is during the Industrial Revolution. 1925, there was no laws or there was no U.S. Department of Labor to prohibit children being exploited and having to work in the workforce. There was none of that. So he had to basically enter an adult workforce that was cruel and inhumane. And if you got injured or killed, if it ended up being fatal, so be it. You had no value. All that mattered was profitability. So what happened is he was on a seafood boat, of course, Louisiana being on